Hello everybody, Iain Robson, welcome back to an episode of County Line. Alright, so today we're doing a little bit of forage harvesting, so we're going to get the BGA ready to go. So I got the this truck ready to go here. Let me just turn that off, there we go. Got the Lizard Twin Star HKL ready to go here. And as you can see, we got the FR80, 850 I should say, sorry, ready to go. It's just currently doing a little bit of chaff in there, as you can see. And I have it set up on course play at the moment, and I'm just following along with myself basically. And we're gonna do a little bit of this, and we have the BGA. So I haven't purchased it yet because it's not ready quite yet for a purchase of the BGA, because we need to fill up the bunkers and have them ferment first before we actually do this. Because if you don't do that beforehand, it becomes really it can become really expensive to restart your BGA if you don't set it up properly the first time around. So there we go. Give a little bit of space on that side. Let's go back on the right hand side now. There we go. That's better. And as you can see, we're filling up quite quickly here, so I may have to get another vehicle going back and forth to the BGA here. We'll see, but for now we can just start with this, at least at the very least. So we don't need any of this for the cows because the cows still have a ton of silage. From the very first time we did silage, believe it or not, it was like, I don't know, we still have like 800 or 700,000 liters of silage there. It's ridiculous. So it's so far so good basically. So also we finished off harvesting the soybeans off camera there. There we go. That's that. So we finished harvesting the soybeans off camera, and they're actually done now. And I think if I check, I think they're all. Let's just do a quick little check over here. This guy's done. No, we want this guy. He is not done yet. So let's go ahead and just unload this guy into the truck here, and then we'll get the truck to go. I think we have another soybean field somewhere, but for now we'll just leave this, just unload this. Really? Apparently that was a little too close. There we go. Perfect. Apparently that truck wants to just kind of slide. Anyways, here we go. So enter the soybeans into the truck, and then once the truck's ready to go, basically we can just set it on its way. Well, one thing that's really nice about this trailer is it does hold 45,000 liters, which is quite a lot actually. I think it's one of the bigger size trailers you can get. And for something like chaff, it's actually kind of perfect. There's the BGA down there. Let's head back down there, and I have the tractor currently filling, or leveling I should say, the chaff in the bunker. So we'll see how that works out for that particular courseplay driver. I'm trying to be careful on the turns, because I know this particular truck will tip if you take the turns a little too crazy. Alright, so this is the BGA here, as you can probably tell already. I'm going to jump this at the end here, and we'll see how this tractor works here. I don't know how I have it set up. Let's verify that real quick. I don't think he's even on right now. No. Leveling, compacting, all running engine, reverse loading. Yes, okay. So we'll unload into here and just double check that it's going to be working fine. There we go. That should. Well, it's chaff already, but when you're doing grass, it'll come up as grass in your trailer. And then when you actually dump in the BGA, it'll come up as chaff. There we are. Let's see how this courseplay driver works here. I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's always nice to take a quick little look to see how it's going to work. There we go. Let's line it up a bit better here. Or don't line up. 1 second here. There we go. Seems to be working now. Just need a little bit of tinkering with the first waypoint there. Let's go back up and get another load of chaff here. Alright, starting on our second load here. I guess I could match the same speed as the driver there. The joys of drive control. I love that feature. For stuff like this, it's really, really handy. Then you just set it up, and then all you do is drive and make sure you don't run into anything. Which sounds easier than it is sometimes, because if you're not paying attention, what can happen is you can run into, like, you know, the side of the combine there, or the header or something like that, so it can get pretty crazy sometimes. Apparently I'm staying really far away from the combine header. I don't think I can see... No, I would need another mirror up here to see how close I am to the actual header itself. I don't think they have those mirrors in Farm Sim. Not commonly, at least. I know in Euro Truck Simulator, for example, you can get them all over the place if you want. Almost every truck has the option, at least. But in Farm Sim, I don't think they're very common. That's good. Let's continue around the corner here. Sometimes I found with when you're trying to do the matching the same speed as the harvester, I find it doesn't always work perfectly when it goes around a corner like that just did there. Because what will happen is it'll kind of turn away from you and it can't detect how fast the combine's going anymore. So you have to be kind of careful about turns for the most part. So because you can, you know, miss chunks of it if you're not careful. Yeah, this would be kind of difficult to do in a truck, actually. You probably need to talk to the... Well, you probably would talk to the combine driver saying, okay, how far are you? You know, we're getting too close, sort of thing. Stuff like that, because if you didn't, you would definitely run into trouble. Alright. I believe, this is the funny part about this, so like, the way corn is supposed to be chaff is not when it's this color. It's actually supposed to be chaff when it's more of a green color, but I think I'm not sure they make that distinction with the seasons mod. I believe they do in the game, the base game itself, but I don't know if they make that distinction in the seasons mod. I have to double check that now, actually. Because in reality, this should be harvested with a corn harvester head, not necessarily a chaffing head sort of thing, or forage harvester head. All right, made it back to the BGA here. As you see, the tractor has moved out of my way, so I can drop this off. I love that feature. That's such a cool little feature of course split. It's like, oh, there's a tractor there? Sure, no problem. Let me get out of the way for you. That has to be one of the cooler features of that particular function, because it just makes it so much easier to get this set up the way you want it to. Oh, apparently I'm a little too close to the edge here. There we go. Alright, let's head back to the field, get our load here. Alright, just working on load number 3 here. And shouldn't take too long, actually. We've been filling up this trailer pretty quickly, so it shouldn't take too long to get it all done. Well, to fill up the trailer. I'm not sure about getting it done. It may take a bit longer to get it done, because I'm only doing this single-handedly, so to speak. But I could get another course by driver to go back and forth as well. That would require setting up another course by driver and yada yada yada. Sometimes that's not always the most effective use of time. It depends. It really depends on how you want to set up your farm and how much time you want to spend on doing stuff. Often what I end up doing is I'll do a little bit of the task and then I'll set up course by driver to do the rest. Most of the time it's because I just have something else to do. Like I have to get to work is usually what happens. For me at least, it's like, oh no, hey, it's like, you know, 7 o'clock, maybe I should start heading out for work there. So, stuff like that. For me, that's what it is. If I'm, you know, kind of just chilling out on a Saturday, usually I'll just do a whole bunch of things all at the same time, but if I am recording, usually I'll do like a chunk of it and then set up courseplay to do the rest of it sort of thing while I go get ready for work. Is usually what happens. So, alright, almost full here once again. 88%. Doesn't take very long. Doesn't take very long at all. So we're just doing the first headland. We've had, what, 2-3 loads already? So, putting it all into perspective, I probably will need to get a second tractor here. Because if I don't get a second tractor, we're just going to be in a strange scenario. So let's say there are beans that we have ready right there. Probably get the combine running on that too. So the beans ready there, and then we also have the corn ready on field, which 10, I guess it would be. And then we'll actually have to harvest those ones for feed for the cows, because we don't have very much corn left, basically. So we have how much do we have? I think we have maybe 80,000 liters left, I think, something along those lines. So we'll definitely need the corn harvest from field number 10 there. Alright, coming back to our drop off here. Looks like that Mass Ferguson's doing a good job of unloading there, or I should say leveling. We just get this set up here. There we go. Gotta wait for him to detect me, and then he's like, oh no, I need to go back to my waiting spot, so let's give that a second here. Alright, just setting up a second driver here, because if I don't do this now, what's gonna happen? It's just gonna take a little too long with the single driver, so setting up a course by course for the second driver here. So I changed my mind, so in order to make my life a little bit easier in terms of lining up my course here, what I'm going to do is going to go around, all the way around the BGA and coming from the other entrance here, just so I have a bit more space to... is there no other entrance there? Okay, apparently there's not another entrance, so we'll do this then. It looks like there is another entrance, but there totally isn't, so we'll just do this. This will be fine. There totally should be like another entrance into this place. There's apparently only one. The rest of it's fenced in. So I'm going to do it like this. And the reason why I'm going to do it like this is because I want to have my trailer lined up as best as possible. So I don't have to do... I could just drive straight through. That's a possibility. But that will lead to problems later on, so that's why I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is wait for that tractor to realize that I'm here. I'm going to detach this trailer for a second here. I'm going to drive straight this way right here. And then once I hit this point, I'm going to reverse. And the reason why I took the trailer off is because CourseBlade can detect where you wanted to put the trailer. And let's just back this up into here like so. And let's say we want it somewhere right about here. Tip right there. Drive forward out of there like so. And then go on our merry way. So I'm going to pause the course here. Then I grab my trailer again. And then I'll have to do a little test to make sure that's working properly. And then we'll go from there, see how that all works together basically. There we go. There's that. And sometimes, for situations like this, sometimes you just end up having to test it and see what works best in this scenario. And I suspect that what I just did there may not work just because of the angle and everything. So if I run into problems, I would just make a course that drove straight through the bunker basically. Which is an alternative way of doing it. But I find your tractors end up getting stuck easily when you drive through the bunker, whereas rear tipping will tend to be more reliable, I find. But we're going to find out here. We're going to find out. Alright, so I'm going to go and just go to the edge of the field right over here in the corner here. And then I'm going to drive maybe... let's do this way actually. Drive right over here maybe. A little bit into the field. Alright, stop the course there. And we'll just, let's see this. We want this as combi. Select manually. And the reason why I'm setting up so it selects manually is because I want that that trailer and tractor to know exactly where the combine is. And I just find it works a bit better usually. So, all right, let's see how that worked out here. All right, finally got our first headland done here. Now we're working on headland number 2. Let's set up so there's 2 headlands just so there's a lot of space for it to maneuver. This is kind of an oddly, not an oddly shaped field, but for the higher drivers or course-play drivers, I find that they have a bit of a trouble on this field, so I decided just to go for 2 headlands just so they have more than enough space to maneuver and whatnot. So, oops, apparently I'm too close to the combine there. So we'll see how that 8340 does, or the 8830, sorry. Looks like he's just currently going to the BGA. So we'll see how that works together. And it may get into traffic actually too when it gets close to the other tractor. So we'll have to see how that works. Like I said, if all else fails, we can always set up a course just so it drives straight through the bunker. That's always an option as well. So, all right, so full once again. So this is where the other tractor hopefully will come into play. I don't know whereabouts it is. It's probably waiting for the other tractor. Yeah, waiting for the other tractor to maneuver or something at the BGA. So it'll be kind of interesting when I roll in. So we'll see how that all works out together. Sometimes it's not always a perfect system. There we go. Let's come over here and see how things are going over the PGA. Alright, so there's the 8830 maneuvering. Let's see how well it maneuvers here. This is the part I'm not sure about because of the odd angle, but it should be okay. It may just have a little bit of trouble at the end. Oh no, that's not too bad at all actually. I'm delightfully surprised. It's gonna stop there and then just drive forward basically because there's nothing to do. Sweet. Let's grab the truck and unload. Let's get in there before the other Mass Ferguson decides to start moving again. There we go. Let's back this up. Doing a pretty good job so far. Usually with the you'll notice that with the way courseplay works, it'll usually leave like a little bit of the end part there, but generally it's pretty good. So, and the cool thing with courseplay is actually it'll move forward if there's no space for it to tip, which is kind of neat. There we go. Of course, it's always faster when you do it versus when a courseplay does it because you can just know exactly where to go, and courseplay has to go like, oh, detect things and stuff like that. So, well, it's the way the game is played, I guess. At least with courseplay. Looks like the other courseplay driver managed to find its way back here, so that's good. Didn't see have any problems, so it might have problems at the end of the field, maneuvering around these trees and whatnot. So that's usually where you'll find you'll have a problem in those types of areas. So that's another reason why I did 2 headlands as well. All right, first trailer is full. Let's just continue here with the truck here. And we'll see how this works together. So this is where the real test is. So when you have 2 trucks or 2 trailers working back to back or side by side, whatever you call it, if they are able to keep up with the forage harvester, that's ideal, of course. But if they're not, well, then something's wrong. Well, that's a big chunk you're gonna miss there, buddy. Jeez. There we go. Get lined up here. Yeah, what may happen is I may be full before that other tractor gets off the field. Just based on what's happening here. Maybe not. It's not that slow, but it sure seems that slow. Not too bad, not too bad. The other tractor seems to be doing all right. Hasn't hit a hydro pole yet, which is I was half expecting it to do that actually. Just go wham right into a hydro pole, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. Wonder how much we're actually gonna get out of this field in terms of chaff. Again, like I mentioned before, in real life you would do you wouldn't chaff it when it's like this. You would chaff it when it's green, but like I said, I don't know if the season's month factors it in or if you can actually do it beforehand. I'm not sure. I'll have to try that again. I'll try that at some point to see if it's an option or not, basically. Okay, where's the 88? Okay, he's currently up to BGA, so he's not doing too badly there. He's just heading around the back half of the BGA, getting lined up. So he might be, it might be just the right time between these 2 vehicles to see. Well, it may be the right time, I don't know. We're gonna have to see how that works out in the long term, but for now it seems to be working out for the most part. The part that probably takes the longest time is waiting for the Massey Ferguson to realize there's a tractor there and to actually kind of maneuver itself appropriately. Alright, I'm almost full again here. Looks like the 8830 is lining up, looks like. At least from this distance, that's what it looks like. I can't tell for sure, obviously, but It seems that way. 93%. Yeah. This will be the last headland, then it's going to go up and down the field or some way around the field. I don't know what exactly the direction is. I would have to check here. Alright, let's unload this. See how that turns out. Should be good, actually. Should be, being the keyword, of course. And these 8830. It must be waiting for the mass Ferguson to get set up properly. That's my guess. Now, I don't believe I could use this for Courseplay just because it's not... Oh, I could try, actually. Let's see here. That would be interesting to see if it actually worked. Not the Steiger. We want the 8830. So, I don't think it'll work, but we can try. Yeah, I don't think it recognizes what it's doing here. Because it's just because the way it is. It's like because it has like a trailer plus the truck. I don't know. Sometimes you run into some weird issues where it's doesn't recognize one thing or the other. So you have to kind of like work around it so it doesn't recognize it's a truck sort of thing. So, all right, let's park this in here. So I think we'll keep it there for the time being, folks. I'll finish this off camera. Let this process work its way through. How much do we have in here so far? 174,000. It's not so bad. So by the time we finish that field, we'll probably have close to 1 million, I imagine. Well, maybe not 1 million, but like 600,000, maybe something like that. So we will see how it goes. So my name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, if you want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more Counterline, I'll catch you guys later.